All right, we live. All right, Shalom, Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
All right, we're going to start by giving all glory and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAAHWABAN. All right, we're the brothers from down in Tampa, Florida, from the camp of GMS Tampa. All right, I'm the brother Amawan, and with me I have the brother
Atazawan.
All right, we wanted to touch up on this video. All right, that I came across on one of these known pages. You can go follow this page. It's Arrows of Indignation 144. All right, and this is a video going into which we're gonna play it. Okay, having this lady explaining, all right, on the power grid going down, man. Okay, she sounds like pretty much a prepper. Okay, one of these preppers, but in this video, all right, she expounds on, all right, the preparations that comes with the, when the power grid goes down, the state of these people's minds that they're going to be in, man. Okay, which we know as it to be what? Jacob's trouble. Okay, through the spirit probably by SIMEON. Okay, and if I ain't said before, once again, double honor to those in the apostle, great millstone will teach you well. Peace and blessings to the brothers who push this work and true sincerity to the sky and the bride. All right, but what we're going to do is we're going to play this video and we're going to grab a few scriptures and Lord willing, you'll edify it. Let's give it a second.
I'm going to say this again. I've said it 5 times at least. You guys are not realizing what grid down means. Society as you know it will end. There won't be any work. There won't be any hospitals to go to. There won't be any police department that will come to your aid. No one is going to save your ass. You won't be able to travel anywhere after about 36 hours. So if you're going to bug out to a location, you better do it within that time period. And don't expect to stop for gas because gas stations will be closed. Grocery stores will be closed. Don't expect to stop by your ATM and get money because that's going to be shut down. Everything that we use in society right now is tied to the electrical grid. And the number one thing that's sucking the electrical grid dry is data centers. Because they did not build the infrastructure. And don't tell me they did, because they did not. And it's taxing our grid and it's going to tumble. Everything's going to go down. Nothing will be as it is right now. And when the grid goes down, people are going to want to get supplies from other people. And so you're going to want to, with your supplies, because you've listened to me, and you've gotten prepped, and you have people around you who you love, and now you're going to have to secure your home. You're going to have to put darkening on all your windows, which will make it darker inside. You're going to want to get all the windows, even the ones that are frosted and up. You're going to want to get all the skylights. You're going to want to get every kind of area that will leak light that you have inside, such as candles, flashlights, and all off-grid lighting, cooking, and heating will have to be brought into the house or the apartment where you're going to be held up. You do not even have an inkling of how bad it's going to be. I wish I could shake you. And right now I'm almost ready to scream. You do not know. You do not know. You don't have a fucking clue. Everything, 98% of your life, and I mentioned this on the title of that video, is going to be gone. Gone. If you don't have a backup generator, get at least one. We have 5. Yeah, we do. So that is that, you guys. I'm not playing around here. I'm not. It's going down.
All right, we'll just stop it at that mark. Okay, so there you have it. All right, she pretty much expounded on, all right, the what's going to take place. Okay, what particularly could take place. All right, if there was a power grid to happen. We know that these devils, okay, Esau, Edom, okay, so-called white man, he's working, man. Okay, he's already having things, all right, set up to where there could be a possibly EMP at any point, okay, or he could have it where he can blame it on these other nations, all right, and something can pop off, all right, where the power done got hacked into. There's multiple ways of how this devil could approach a situation like this. All right, but the point is that if something like this were to take place, all right, what would you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans do, man? Okay, and you had this lady, she was expounding on it and telling you that people would lose it. What would the preparations be if this was to happen? Okay, you got women, okay, you got children, you got even so-called men. All right, when these situations are going to happen, are going to be vulnerable. You see, and this is a time that we're telling you about going into Jacob's trouble, man. All right, you seeing over there what's taking place with ICE, okay, in Minnesota. That's not a game, man. All right, these devils are preparing to roll on you niggas, man. Right, they're preparing to roll, all right, on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American. It's only a amount of time before Esau starts to really put his foot on you Jake's necks, man. Okay? And it's all through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, because the Lord's fed up with you, man. So we're gonna read a little bit of this Jeremiah, okay, starting at verse 4. Okay, and we're gonna grab these scriptures and tap in, man. Okay, because the times that we're coming into ain't gonna be getting it ain't gonna be daisies and sunflowers. Okay, and a shiny day, man. It's gonna get dark and gloomy. All right, terrifying for you Jakes, right? Solely. So this is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 4. It says, "And these are the words that the Lord YAHAWASHI spec concerning Israel and concerning Judah," which this is why is easy to identify who the Lord is speaking to, his people. Okay, you Israelites, man. This is how this is pertaining to you solely. Okay, nobody else really. You. All right, it says, "And these are the words that the Lord YAHAWASHI spec concerning Israel and concerning Judah, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American. For thus saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace."
Hey, if I may add too, the poor, Jake is the poor of this world. Okay, so when these lights go out, man, guess who's gonna suffer first? You Jakes. Okay, Jake ain't got 5 fucking generators. What that lady said. Get yourself some generators. We have 5. Jake ain't got one of them. Okay, Jake ain't prepared for this type of war. They ain't prepared for these type of times we're coming into. They're not even thinking about such things. Okay, so while these Edomites still got light in their dwelling places, Jake gonna be in complete and utter darkness. And you know what these niggas do in that darkness, man? It's gonna get real slimy and grimy. Jake already killing each other in the light. How much more in the dark?
That's right, bro. How much more in the dark? And you had different places around Puerto Rico. Okay, a few places down in I believe it's what,
Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba. That had their lights go out for a while. Okay, and they had to deal with those circumstances of what would take place in the dark. Okay, those type of fears, because when people are in dark, they get desperate.
That's
all right. Demons hop on people, man. And those demons seem to take over those who are willing to be taken by those demons, and they start to do some unseemly things. Okay, they start to do some vile and disturbing things. You see,
Mm-hmm.
and
Those lights go out.
exactly.
When those lights go out, surveillance cameras go out. Okay, security alarms go off. All these things are shut down when those lights go out, so nobody gonna know when somebody breaking in their house. You can't have it recorded on video, so you can't report it when the lights come back on. Okay, and this happens whenever the lights go out or a storm's coming or hits. Okay, and the lights go out. You always see people reporting on their Ring Camera Neighborhood app, all right, or the Next Door app. Does anybody here? Does anybody see people running their yard or hear a knock on their door or the doorknob twisting? And everybody like, yeah, yeah, it happened to me too, you know, because these people are getting ready to attack each other and eat each other. Okay, man, it's gonna get real bad, bro. It's gonna get real bad. But you got it, King.
Let me read a little bit of this. It says, "For thus saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace." Verse 6, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, it says, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness." Right. Okay, because you're gonna be looking at these big bodybuilder dudes, okay, and you're gonna be seeing this man in general be frightened, all right, about what's gonna come, okay, what the Lord is gonna bring upon this place. They're gonna be terrified, all right, just like when you see a woman, all right, and she's in childbirth, okay, she's having that child, okay, she's pushing that baby out, she's nervous, she's shaking, she's terrified, okay, because she's pushing that baby out, man. Okay, and she's looking all sick in the face, pale. Well, how much more for individuals who are going to be seeing horrific things taking place throughout the earth, man?
That's because our body's experiencing trauma.
Yeah, that's right, bro. And that trauma is going to be amongst you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, man. See, right now, Jake got their feet kicked up. All right, they doing what they want, Jake partying, smoking, being a rapper, a ball player. They're not thinking about these terrifying times that's to come, man, that we, through the spirit and power of SHAMAIWAN, continue to warn you of, man. All right. What is that? Ecclesiastes, actually, so known as Sirach. Okay, verse 5, I'm going into I believe it's chapter 5, but actually going into verse 7. Okay, where Jake, think it's a game. All right, when you least expect it, and your security, boom, that wrath comes, man. Okay, which Lord willing, we can grab that as well. Okay, but this is the time, man, that's coming. Grown men are going to be frightened and terrified. So how much more for you women? And these women have children. Eve like to lay down and open her legs and sleep with multiple men. But what are you going to do when you can't protect all 6 or 7 of your kids? All right.
Yeah.
And you got a hungry pack of weirdos, looking at you, and matter of fact, approaching you. It's going to be a dangerous game out there. You see, it says, and I'll read it again, verse 6. It says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins." You gotta be seeing something frightening to have be a grown man, and you your hands on your loins, and you pleading, you screaming, crying. You're gonna have men watching their own woman getting ravished, man. Okay, daughters, sons. Esau gonna come like a flood. The scripture says, man, roughly paraphrasing. This devil's gonna come with it, willing to do anything and everything while he has the opportunity, okay, to do so. Why you think they just gave the ICE over there full immunity? They don't get in trouble for what they about to do. They're about to act out. They're about to show those horns.
Grace up.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
This is Ezekiel 21:7 in the NIV. "And when they ask you, why are you groaning? You shall say, because of the news that is coming."
Woo, because of what the news that is coming, man. Hey, what did it say? trembling of fear and not of peace.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
That's right.
and this is what we letting you know. This is not something to be taken lightly, man. You got it, bro. Go ahead.
Every heart will melt with fear. Every hand will go limp. Every spirit will become faint, and every leg will be wet with urine.
Woo! And that speaks for itself right there. You see, and the scriptures get in there, man. Okay, how could you hear something like this and think it's gonna just blow over? No, man. There's gonna be a certain thing that's gonna hit this place known as America so hard that's gonna have individuals in that same description.
Yep. And I remember the last time I peed myself was when I was a kid, having a nightmare, a terrible nightmare.
Well, Slakia, you got it.
Yeah, which when you a kid, you having these terrible nightmares, you're distraught with fear. Okay, you've seen something as a child that has made you so terrified that you had to wet the bed, man. All right, but we saying what we seeing here is grown men gonna be pissing themselves. The mighty men gonna be pissing themselves in the times we're coming into. Okay, weak, faint-hearted. All right, trembling for fear. All right, so this isn't a time to be relaxing and doing whatever the hell you want to do. Okay, and going on about your day and enjoying yourself. This devil's literally being exposed right now. That just goes to show you we at the last days. That means he's about to come down with it.
That's right.
Okay,
Bro.
you got it.
Yeah, and to back you up, you know, going into that dream, you know, when you wake up from that dream, okay, you frightened, you scared. Well, guess what? You wake up from it, you know, you realize, oh, it was just a dream. Well, this is not the reality, man.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to wake up from this.
Yeah. Everything of your worst nightmare is gonna be a reality right before your eyes. Okay. It says that was it on that.
It says, "It is coming, it will surely take place, declares the sovereign Lord." And that's it.
Okay, come on. And that was what, Ezekiel 21?
21:7, yes, sir.
You can actually jump down to verse 9.
Okay. Dropping down to verse 9. It says,
You see this.
"Son of man, prophesy and say,
Mm-hmm.
This is what the Lord says. A sword, sharpened and polished." This is the NIV.
Mm-hmm.
"Sharpened for the slaughter, polished to flash like lightning. Shall we?"
Hey, that's the spirit, because here we have it. We're telling you, all right, in the time of lights, boom, go out at any moment. This is the spirit that Esau's going to have on him, man. All right, so-called white man, he's going to come in middle of the night, boom, 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 flashing. What do you think the flash is going to come from, man? Okay. Hey, you got it just ever coming with a flash bomb. You know, what is it? Tear gas, and he's shooting hella rounds. Who do you think he's gonna be aiming at in the middle of the night with night vision on, man?
All right, able to see through the walls and shit. He's gonna be shooting through the walls.
Well, that's why they got super soldier suits. Escos. What is it? You know, something skeleton suits. Forgot what it's called.
Exoskeletons.
Yeah. Call about Shah. Who do you think he's preparing these things for? Okay. He about to roundhouse your ass, Jay.
Yeah, that's gonna make a soldier be able to run on the wall and shit.
Yeah.
On top speeds and have super strength. They're gonna be able to punch through walls, man. All right. I remember watching Judas and the Black Messiah when they came to go and kill the protagonist. Okay, at the end of the movie, they had these Tommy guns, and what they did was they shot through the walls. And you know, Jake living in the hood, they walls are like cardboard, man.
Right.
Okay. They ain't really defensive at all. So they was shooting through the walls, and while the whole family was in there sleeping, everybody was getting riddled with bullets on their beds. The bullets was coming through the walls. They ain't even opened the door yet. So they shot through the walls, and riddled Jake with bullets, and then kicked the door down and finished him off.
Wow.
All right. So these devils ain't coming in and playing with you, Jakes, man. They know that you might be a threat. You may be on the red list or the black list, whatever. Yeah, man. They coming. They gonna shoot first and ask questions later.
Yeah, and that's his motto. You know.
Mhm.
You know, he shoot now and ask later.
Right.
You know?
It's crazy. Get on the ground. You already on the ground. You already in the spirit realm.
Right.
Telling you to
and
put your hands up.
then he might just arrest you. He throw the cuffs on you, and you already leaking blood. You dead, no life in you.
Yeah.
This is Esau, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So continue.
It says, I'm gonna read the verse 10 in NLT. It says,
Mhm.
it is sharpened for terrible slaughter and polished to flash like lightning. Now will you laugh?
Right. Now when you laugh, this devil's got a soul, his whole soul and mission is to what? Run down on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, and eliminate those who are a threat.
That's right, bro.
That's what he's waiting to utilize that, man.
Mhm.
Okay, he's waiting to put that in action and to move on it, man. That's why you think this devil talking about he's flirting around with the words of the Insurrection Act.
Right.
What
Martial
do
law.
Yeah, martial law. That's why that's a fancy way to put it. Okay, because they can't really just say it, and they can, but this devil has a fancy way of playing with words, man. Scriptures speak about it, smooth words, man.
Right.
Okay, but wars in his heart. So
Serpent tongue.
yeah, so what do you think he's gonna do? He's gonna come through with that blessing that he has, and this devil has been given that blessing, and he's gonna utilize it to every highest degree. Okay, he's not advancing in his weaponry for nothing. You see, bring it back, Baba Kasha.
It is sharpened for terrible slaughter.
Hey, this devil gonna come through with it, man. Including you got these devils in the somewhere in the goddamn woods running drills, man.
Yeah. They
They
children.
running, they running drills right now, prepping. All right, with those with his blessing, man. Go ahead.
And polished to flash like lightning. Now will you laugh?
Right. Now would you think this is a game, huh? You think it's a joke? Okay, Jake, go ahead.
Those far stronger than you have fallen beneath its power. So
Yeah, you got it, bro.
hey, it's shit. The Lord has used this sword to take down countries, okay, nations, far stronger than you, Jake. Okay, so what the hell? Is something funny? Is there something to laugh at? You've seen what they did to them troops in Venezuela.
Bro.
Okay,
Right, bro.
is there
Yep.
something to laugh at, Jake? These devils have been mastering that sword, okay, to prepare for any outcome. All right, including spiritual power. Okay, so if they're trying to compare their sword to spiritual power and facing off in the heavens, what does that mean for you niggas? I got my switch. I got my tech. Yeah, buddy. They had that shit. If you got it, that means they don't need it.
Right. Exactly, bro. Esau got something more far. He got something way far more advanced than the damn switch. This
Bro,
devil got a heart
you got
attack.
yeah.
You know, this devil know how to shoot arrows. He know how to shoot arrows and bend it with the wind around the trees, around the building. This devil is taking his blessing to a whole nother degree. Okay.
Oh yeah. Hey man, I was watching something and shit, I was looking at a video last night, and it was talking about how this soldier was in a lab and he accidentally flipped the switch on some uranium sitting inside of I think it was plutonium or uranium, whatever they call it. Okay, he accidentally flipped the switch, and there was like a shock, like a shock wave came out of it. All right, and there was a shock wave of radiation, and it was to a point, to it was at a point so high that he said it felt like something just blew up in his head, but it was invisible. He couldn't see nothing happening. He thought he was fine. Okay, he turned the machine off, and they say 35 hours later he was dead, man. They say his organs and his bones melted on the inside.
Wow.
Wow. So these devils, man, these devils got some shit. They shooting you with invisible arrows, man. They can attack you through sound waves alone. How the hell you gonna fight the sound waves or radiation waves, man? Okay,
Right.
we need the Lord.
That's
All
right,
right.
bro. Yeah, we're gonna need how about shot. We're gonna need some divine intervention. Okay. You're not gonna be able to just walk your way through what this devil about to come with, man. And that's a lot of that's what's wrong with a lot of our people, man. Especially these little YNs walking around because they got switches, like you said. They think they're gonna be able to switch Esau up. Well, why you ain't doing it to them damn ICE troops out there in Chicago, man?
Right.
Come on now. There's more on that.
Yes, the sword is now being sharpened and polished. It is being prepared for the executioner.
All right, Esau's ready to do that. He's ready to do that bidding, man. Okay. He's ready to do that job to execute. He's gonna, execute a lot of those who are gonna be, rebellious to this system that he's trying to bring, man. Gonna, introduce to the whole world, man. Really, just the NWO. You see, this devil want a whole, reset. He want to reset everything, man. Okay. But those that are going to stand against his system, guess what he's going to do? He's going to put them down. Okay.
That's right.
And he's not tolerating none of these niggerish ways. That's why he got him. What did Trump do with? Okay. He said, look, you go to all the slums, get all the crime, bring all that down. What did he hit the heart of those things that he seen. All right, that was fit. And that was in your Jake neighborhoods, okay, in so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American communities.
Appreciate.
Yep.
The second Ezra 16:3 in the GNT. I am sending war on you, and no one can stop it. I am sending fire on you, and no one can put it out. I am sending disasters on you, and no one can stop them from coming. Can anyone stop a hungry lion in the forest, or put out a fire that is burning in straw? So, the Lord is waging war on you niggas, man. Okay, so he gonna start at his house first.
That's right.
Okay, and Jake's so simple. They're gonna look at it as, okay, well, we can just go to war with them niggas back. It's not Esau that's attacking you, you simpletons. Okay, Jake's so damn ignorant. It's the Lord that put this hit out on you. That means you aren't going to prevail against him. Okay, you need his mercy in order to prevail against Esau. Okay, the Lord is going to cause your knees to faint. All right, whenever the Lord seeks to overtake another army or the opposing side, he makes them lose their nerve. He puts fear into them. He puts doubt and uncertainty into their mind so that they can't even fight. And then the winning side is going to take them over easily. And that's what Esau is, the winning side, because he's the sword of the Lord. Okay, so you think when the Lord swing that sword, it's going to miss? Hell nah, it's going to hit every target. All right, you got it, King.
That's right. That was it on that.
Yeah.
I
got another one.
Con. Let me finish this up and then you can grab that.
Con.
It says, as a woman, back in Jeremiah 30, verse 6, I read it from the top. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness.
Mm-hmm.
It says,
all faces gonna be turned into paleness, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You ever seen one of them old cartoons like Tom and Jerry when they see a ghost or something that scares them and their body goes completely white with fear? Okay. You gonna feel that. You're gonna feel the blood draw from your skin, okay, and rush to the internal organs because you're gonna be so scared, man. All right, you're gonna look pale. Lips gonna go blue. The hoods. Hey, Jake gonna give up the ghost. Scripture say man's hearts failing them for fear.
Mm.
Okay, literally, and through your laab, your mind, meaning your common sense is gonna fail through fear because you ain't got that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is gonna be the stability of our times. And then your literal heart gonna fail for fear. You gonna have these niggas gonna have heart attacks.
That's right.
They're gonna give up the ghost. you
Yep.
know.
It says, Jeremiah 30:7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right. So this time that's coming, all right, it's going to come upon you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, proceeded to verse 4. Okay, it's going to be like a time like no other, man. Okay, you're not going to be able to compare another time to this particular time that the Lord has. Okay, for you Jakes, man. All right, known as Jacob's trouble. All right, and those that is be of YAHAWASHI Shais, okay, elect, okay, they're gonna be protected in those times, all right, from what's gonna come. Okay, because it says what? But he shall be saved out of it, the elect, man. But the rest of you, all right, are gonna be in a shitty predicament, man. All right. And this is why this is a time to seek the Lord while he is near. Because what's about to come upon this place, it's gonna come like a whirlwind, man. You see?
I got precepts.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
It says in second Ezra chapter 15 and this is the GNT, by the way. So second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. And this is Ezra's waking up from seeing the vision of the end. Okay.
Spirit.
People fighting against each other. All right. The end of the world. Okay. The lights going out, water running out, friends fighting against each other, killing each other everywhere. Okay. The government attacking the people attacking the government. All right. It says, verse 14, it says, then I woke up and I was trembling violently. Okay. So how terrible this vision had to be for Ezra to wake up and be trembling violently. It says, I was so disturbed that I was about to faint. He woke up and he was about to pass out again, just from the vision that the Lord showed him of what's going to come in the time we're coming into. It says, but the angel that had come to talk with me took hold of me, strengthened me, and set me on my feet. He had to have an angel lift him up, just from the things he's seeing that's going to take place now, man. Okay, this is the prophet of the Lord we're talking about. Okay, so the things that are getting ready to happen to you, Jakes, man, Ezra wasn't even living in the situation. But you can see why he said, woe is me, disaster be to me, because who gonna save me in those days? Such terrible times we're coming into. The division is very dreadful. Okay? And that's why we emphasize to you, Jakes, get right with the Lord. Because the things that's coming, once it hits, it ain't no turning back, man.
That's right, bro.
I had another one too.
What was that? That was 15?
That was second Ezra, 5 and 14 through 15.
Okay, come on.
You want that Amos 8 and 11 you asked for earlier?
No, I got one pulled up here. Matter of fact, I was thinking about it, but I'm gonna grab second Ezra's chapter 6, I believe. Let me see if I can find it in there, because it's going into with this. I'm gonna play a little bit of this video. Okay, but there's a point I want to grab in here. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Yep. Verse 22. Okay, because what's going to take place also, all right, is when this power grid or this electric grid that this woman speak about, if this was to take place, what is that going to affect? That's going to affect numerous of business, okay, companies, all right, and stores, all right. So what does that mean? There's not going to be any truckloads coming in, all right. No work, all right. The grinding shall cease, okay. Hey, it can go on and on and on, man. And this can happen right overnight, man. Just like you had with the C-19. Okay, before you know it, people were having panic attacks, you know, jumping off of buildings. All right, taking more medication, drugging themselves up more because they was under so much distress of what was taking place in such a small amount of time. You see, now I have it typed up right here. It said, "What would happen if electric grid was to go down in America?" Okay, you know, it's on Chat GPT, man. Okay, to back up this video that we're going into, because normally these people, all right, you know, they're living a natural, you know, either a lifestyle or rather rich or poor. You know, they're not thinking about these things that could take place, which this is a possibility that at any moment that could happen. Okay, you know, speaking through the spirit, man. You know, but these people don't think about these case of scenarios that could pop off, man. And all hell can break loose. And knowing that, here you have it in Chat GPT. It says, what would happen if electric grid was to go down in America? And it says, if the electric grid went down across America, everything will feel normal for about 5 minutes. It says then reality
5 minutes, bro.
5 minutes. Yep.
No, that's the spirit, because about a few years ago I was at work and it was talks of a EMP hitting. Okay, and the grid going down. And when I was out in my truck working, my phone data went out and I couldn't call anybody. I couldn't go on internet. I couldn't do anything.
Wow.
Right. And then that's when I was thinking, like, immediately the thoughts start rushing to me. Shit, I need to get back to the house. This shit about to get real. Immediately the thoughts came in, because when you out there on the street, okay, all these cars, everybody out, it's all this traffic. When people start realizing the grid is shut down, panic sets in immediately. Okay, because that grid, people don't realize how much they really depend on technology. People use it for the GPS to get home, to get to where they need to be. All right, to call their loved ones and check up on them. Okay, to surveil their own houses. All right, and even the cars and things like that would go down. A lot of electric vehicles would go down. People be stranded. Okay, so panic immediately sets in, and these people just immediately start panicking. Before you know it, people start fighting. All right, brawling. You know, just watching a video before this lesson, it was of a brawl. One in one of the northern states, people were just fighting each other for no reason. You see, as I was watching these people move, and all you can see is demons, because somebody will swing on someone they don't even have a conflict with. They'll put their hands up to fight, and then they'll turn around and go swing on somebody else. I said, "What the fuck is going on?" So when panic sets in, it's a scene where demons are just using these people to destroy each other.
Yeah.
That's all on that, King.
Yeah, because what? Those demons are starting to get active, man. You know, they're starting to get active way more than the normal, because things are being stirred up more. You see? So these people, like, you know, these people that ran down to this devil, man, and got that serpent's juice. Now their body's starting to act out. Now they start to, you know, lose it more. These people are having short patience. All right, they're on the edge. And America on this decline right now, it's not helping. You see? So it's pushing these people. You had that one guy, known rapper, singer, whatever he is, Lucy, said, you know, push him to the edge. You know, these people, you know, all his friends are dead. Well, guess what? All these people are dead. Okay, and they're getting pushed to the edge right now. And right now, you're seeing more and more of these people finding themselves and some sort of distress, you know, rather it be financial, rather it be you know, rather it be food, rather it be just mental health. I just watched the video of this dude tweaking out. Okay,
Right.
so it's only going to get worse, man. Now, how much more when the power, okay, completely goes out? How much more when the food starts to not roll into these local stores, your Walmarts, Kroger's, your BJ's, your Sam's Clubs, you know, your Publix, Sprouts. How much more when things starts to die out? That's going to turn a lot of people on to you know, something that they never thought they would ever turn into. See? Yeah, so, you know, going to it, this is Second Ezra chapter, I believe 6, verse 22, and it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay, and this is something that could take place with a power, you know, great, you know, shutdown, man. If the lights go out, you know, guess what? These stores, all right, they ain't gonna be receiving food no more. You heard what this lady said in the video. You know, people couldn't even go into the next cities. You know, certain things was just not operating as it was before normally. Okay, the sense of normal was being replaced with a harsh fear of reality. Okay, the lack of things not being able to be provided. You know, people were on a state of, you know, their last leg, so to speak, man. Okay, for the lack of better words. And this is not far-fetched because what you have it with these major massive outages that's been taking place recently with these these platforms, okay, these apps, these games, okay, thousands of website services going out, all right, with these what were well known, I forgot what they call them, but they were they're like 3 major storages for, you know, major companies and businesses. Okay, and one of them is Amazon, and it's called AWS. Okay, you have AWS, and then you have another one, but you know, a few of these companies, you know, run under these circuits of these services. Okay, and it's running everything. But the point is that they've been going down. They've been going down recently. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know, randomly, just, you know, people can't use certain things, their phones, the Wi-Fi, everything is completely going down. So this ain't far-fetched of what this devil could really pull on a major scale, okay, worldwide.
I know when them full storehouses be found empty, right? The people are raiding these grocery stores, okay, these Whole Foods, like the brother says, Sprouts, all right, all these Walmarts. These people gonna raid these warehouses and find that there's nothing there, and guess where they're gonna go next? They're gonna go to the ports. Okay, Spirit dropped it off. I mean, these people gonna go to the ports where the shipments come in at, okay, and start raiding the boats, okay, raiding the docks. All right, and when they find ain't nothing in there, they gonna pull up in Trump Yard, man.
That's right.
Okay, because these shipments they get delivered, they get hauled off through trucks. So semi trucks gonna be targets too. People gonna be blocking off, barricading the road to block off semi trucks and get inside and raid them for their food that they delivering. Okay, the way this country is gonna crack down is gonna be so fast because when panic sets in, you see people are 144 Kaleo Shemil Shai. See people already resort to panic buying, but when there's nothing to panic buy, they're gonna go to panic stealing, okay, panic killing,
Looting,
panic cannibalism, right? Looting, yeah, you got it.
And just to clarify that the 3 major cloud platforms, okay, are Amazon Web Service, Microsoft Azure, if I'm pronouncing that right, and Google Cloud platform. So these are 2 major platforms that are being used, all right, major servers for everything that's operating, okay, throughout the world, okay, to a certain degree, man. So these have been failing one by one. Okay, so how much more of it was to be on a massive worldwide spread, you see? And these devils know how to test certain things out. And this is the same, you know, lining up with the scripture, because guess what? If something was to go out and they can't use computers or anything like that to bring in those truckloads, guess what? Those stores are not going to get those, you know, that food. Okay, so it's many different ways of how this thing can be hit by a crisis, man. Okay, it says, "In the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid." Right, because really, ultimately, this thing pop off. What will it do? You know, they gonna have these alarms being sound off, man. Okay, just like the same alarms is gonna be sound off when they giving a warning for those nukes when they're about to touch the American soils, man. You see, so people are gonna be suddenly afraid. All right, when they telling you and broadcasting on on TV that, you know, you know, things are about to get rough, people are gonna be suddenly afraid. It says, verse 24, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Right. So imagine not having any water supply. Okay. Imagine not having anything, flow of water. Okay. And it's being completely stopped, and you have to rely on what you know stored up, or you know what you got left in the damn toilet. You know, these people are going to be freaking out, man. Okay, these are great horrific things that could take place, all right, through the spirit power by Shema side, man. You know, and people are thinking it's a game. You see. So, you know, what does it say? At that time shall friends fight against the Slakia. I'll read it again. It says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the love of many is going to wax cold, man. So let's play a little bit of this video again, and then you know, grab some more descriptions.
Down means society as you know it will end. There won't be any work. There won't be any hospitals to go to. There won't be any police department that will come to your aid. No one is going to save your ass.
Yeah, not including you wicked ass woman, man. Eve, okay? You know, she loved to run to the police. She loved running to Esau. Esau, you know, she loved to say the government, my baby daddy. But what are you gonna do when you can't fucking run to these devils, man? All right. What are you gonna do when you ain't got no type of help to help you? Okay, you got it now, but how much more when your help that you calling on is coming to ravage you, take you somewhere and do something with you? Okay, these women might see a man in that day and be like, I just need a man to help me, please, please, please. But he find you as prey. Yeah, it's gonna be a dog, you know, world, man.
Yeah, the police gonna be calling the police in that day.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna pick up.
If 911 even works. Okay.
You won't be able to travel anywhere after about 36 hours. So if you're going to bug out to a location, you better do it within that time period. And don't expect to stop for gas because gas stations will be closed. Grocery stores will be closed. Don't expect to stop by your ATM and get money because that's going to be shut down. Everything that we use in society right now is tied to the electrical grid.
And if I may add, Salaki, you know, with the pause in the video, you're just getting these highlights of this video, okay? because with that being said, that's going to lead to people looting and breaking into these stores, which is going to make these people, not make these people, but make these devils what come down with that wrath. Okay, trying to usher some type of order out of chaos. You see, because they're seeing these people are starting to loot and take over. Okay, for the lack of resources not being provided, and that's happening right now on a lower degree. All right, look over there. What's going on in Palestine? What is it? Iran. You see what's taking place over in Iran right now. So how much more in America, where people feel they got some type of rights and say so? Okay, how much more when stores start to shut their doors to people who don't have the proper access granted? You see, let's see, we'll play a little bit more, and then we're gonna grab his chat GPT.
And the number one thing that's sucking the electrical grid dry is data centers, because they did not build the infrastructure. And don't tell me they did, because they did not. And it's taxing our grid, and it's going to tumble. Everything's going to go down. Nothing will be as it is right now. And when the grid goes down, people are going to want to get supplies from other people. And so you're going to want to, with your supplies, because you've listened to me, and you've gotten prepped. And you have people around you who you love, and now you're going to have to secure your home. You're going to have to put darkening on all your windows, which will make it darker inside. You're going to want to get all the windows, even the ones that are frosted and up. You're going to
Hey, yo, and that's the spirit, man, because she telling you from a prepper's perspective, I perceive, listening to it, because what she's telling you, black out the sunroof, black out the windows, black out everything, because it's gonna be that bad. It's gonna be something that's gonna be majorly taking place, that where you don't want nobody to know that you in that house, right, or in that home, but if this is these other people mindset, what about you Jake's, man? Okay, Jake mindset ain't like that. Jake, they trying to take their ass outside. They trying to go see what's going on, nosy in hell, noisy as hell, trying to go find out and getting obliterated in the streets, man. Okay, but I got this right here in the chat GPT, okay, and it says reading a little, I'm just giving a little bit of this, okay, and you got it, bro, if you got something. This is chat GPT, all right, and I put us at what would happen if electric grid was to go down in America. It says first 5 minutes to an hour, it says lights out, cell towers, internet cable, traffic lights, ATM card payments stop working, and becomes pretty much becomes a thing of immediately effect. Okay, it says first 24 hours, gas stations shut down, water pressure drops, going into that scripture. You see what happens when that water starts to run out. Now you ain't got no water to wash your ass. Now you ain't got no water to drink. Not most people are just stacking up on water. They just drinking and throw it away. You see, but that's going to become a vital thing in that day. It says water pressure drops, hospitals switch to generators. It says refrigerator fails, police, fire, EMS start stretching thin. So everything starts to become what? in a state of panic. It says even panic buying, and it says 2 to 7 days, and this is all in the span of just 5 minutes. You said what?
In just 1 week.
Yeah, that's it, bro.
7 days.
Yep. It says this is danger zone. It says food storages. It says stores rely on delayed deliveries, daily deliveries, and computers. That's the spirit going into it, man. These are all major things that's taking effect. Okay, once again, Jacob's trouble is going to be a thing of simultaneously things happening, man.
Yeah.
Okay. It says pharmaceuticals or pharmacies can't fill prescriptions, and you know these people thrive on prescription, man.
Medication, yeah.
Yep, medication. You see, it says banks are frozen, National Guard likely deployed, looting and unrest is. It says unrest in cities. Okay, and that's pretty much the point. It says also martial law becomes likely. Okay, and etc. So these are the times that we're entering where this is likely to take place, man. Okay, now I'm gonna read a little bit more of this. I'm gonna read this verse 24 again. It says at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Okay, so you know, all right, enemies, our friends fight each other as enemies, man. Okay, which we know is we quoted earlier, the love of many is gonna wax cold, man. Okay, so it ain't gonna be a pleasant thing for that day. Okay, now we're gonna go into 2nd Ezra chapter 15, starting at verse 14. Okay, get the point. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right, so you're going to see people rebelling. You're going to see people fighting against their, their superiors. All right, you're going to see people fighting against each other, civil unrest, civil war, a racial war. These are things that has accumulated over the stress that these people are going to be under. You see, and this is what Esau is going to try to find some sort of, order out of chaos out of, man, knowing that he's behind it. He's behind the wickedness.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll start a problem and bring the so-called solution. And the solution really be the actual problem.
That's right, bro. That's that Micah 2 and verse 1. He advised he devised iniquity upon his bed, because he had power to do so, man. So we know that he's an evil mastermind behind things like that. It says, verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So people are going to take actions in their own hands. To hell with it. We're going to go against the system ourselves, and we're going to take for what we need and what we want. You're starting to see that spirit amping up in these people right now with this whole Jeffrey Epstein's files coming out. It started to stir something up in these people, but it hasn't got to a high peak of rebellion yet. You see, it says, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, like you said. People wanted to roughly what she was saying, was trying to go into the cities, but they couldn't. And why? Ultimately, because Esau is going to be patrolling the intersections, the interstates, Okay, the highways. That's what I'm meant to say. And
The entries and exits of the cities.
yeah, the water. Exactly. It says let's see, verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay, so it's gonna be bad. Okay, once again, Esau gonna come in, all right, as a flood, all right, and his military might, his troops, man. Okay, he's gonna come having, no mercy. Okay, it says, verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So this is something that's going to hit very hard. Okay. As of this, in this time period, what, things are rocky. People are not going to have no pity upon their neighbor. They're going to enter in their homes and take their goods. Okay. Take whatever it is that they have. Rather it means them getting it politely or getting it through violence. You see,
right?
Because what it's going to be a scarce of food. Okay, it's going to be a scarce of water. Everything is going to be short. In other words, and this is going to be a great tribulation. Okay. If you got something, bro, you got it.
That's it, Ken.
Con. You see, I want to grab one more precept. With so much, man, to spirit, but for time's sake, get ready to close it out. I grab this right here. This is Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 21. It says, behold, rituals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So this is going to be, these people right now think themselves to be in a good case, but this devil is already, stirring things up to a certain point where where it's leading to is going to cause, all right, a lot of these people that's in a good case right now think themselves to be in a good case. It's going to put them in a frightening state. Okay, they're going to be scared and terrified. All right, and that's what the evil's growing upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Verse 22: for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and other, it's like in the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. All right, and as we know, these people are going to, be in hunger, okay, because the Lord's going to bring this upon this place, man. And not only just that, but what earthquakes, uproars, etc. It's just going to be a terrifying, period that's going to play out, okay, here in America, man. Okay. We'll just close out with that Amos 8:11. All right, because really this is what it boils down to. All right, you don't want to be let's see, here it is. You don't want to be in that situation and not have this truth, man, and not have YAHAWASHI. You see?
Yeah.
And this is the time to seek the Lord, man. Okay, before all these things really amp up here in America. This is Amos 8:11. It says, behold, and you got a key. It says, behold, the days come, saith Lord YAHAWASHI, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine.
The Lord gonna send a famine in the land. Okay. The scripture says, shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it? All right. Or shall the trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it? Okay, so this is the Lord's doing. That famine is coming there on the physical level and on the spiritual level. You got it.
That's right, bro. It says that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahawashi.
Which is scary because when the Lord sends a famine in the land, which is a severe lack of, that means he has turned his face from you. Okay, because back in the day, the prophets were always on the scene. The people knew that they can go to the prophets to see if something was going on, they did something wrong, or if they can ask of the Lord what they need to do to get right. The prophets were always on the scene to give guidance and deliver those answers. But when the Lord pulls his prophets away, that means he's done talking. All right, and you in trouble. Now you're stuck in the situation that you're in because the prophets ain't there. There's nobody to tell you what to do anymore or how to get out of the situation you're in. These people are gonna flip. They're gonna lose it. Okay, which it ain't gonna be a complete disappearance of the prophets. They're just gonna be. It's gonna be a severe lack of hearing those words that the prophets once said. Man, you got it.
That's right, bro. Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahawashi, and shall not find it.
So the very word that they was running from, okay, now they're gonna be searching everywhere on the earth, digging under the ground to look for it. Okay, they're gonna be checking everywhere, man. The scripture say what running. We just brought it out, sea to sea, east to west, coast to coast, looking for the prophets. Okay, that means it's gonna come. This they're gonna get to the point where they're gonna realize a prophet has been among them, and now they gotta find him and see what they can do to get out of the situation, and and apologize and all of a sudden now they want to come out and teach. But the reason the Lord taking us off the scene is because there's no remedy for you people. Even if the prophets were on the scene and you did find them, and the prophets were to tell you what to do to get out of that situation, you would just go back to wickedness soon after. Okay. We had a perfect example was in 2020 during the C9 event, man. People came and questioned about the truth. This is you were right, man. This is the end, bro. We at the end of the world, bro. What do I do, bro? What do I do? I'm scared. I'm scared. But when the shit blew over, they went back to being niggas, and you never heard from them again.
Right.
Okay? And that's what the mindset of all you people are. And that's why when the Lord draws his prophets back, ain't gonna be no mercy for you niggas, man. You got it.
Verse 13, and it says, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst.
The young, beautiful woman and the young men who just now being ready for work and full strength, all they gonna faint for thirst, man, for thirst for this word, for hearing the words of the Lord. Okay, the fair virgins, okay, and these young men is ready to go to work for the Lord. They're gonna faint for thirst, man, because hey, the time was here when you was supposed to be out here getting this word. You're supposed to be out here listening to the truth and living after the ways of the Lord, Yahawashi, but you was too caught up in the world. Now you got to feel that pain. Scriptures say thirst and pain are prepared for those who shall live in the latter times, roughly paraphrasing, man. Okay, so torment. You're getting ready to go through a tormenting time, and not just uh, the middle age. It's gonna be all classes, old, young, babies, mothers, okay, men, everybody gonna suffer, man. But you, women, and children gonna suffer the most. You got it.
That's right, bro. Hey, that's a spirit, bro. So yeah, there you have it, man. Okay. And I'm pretty sure brothers have touched up on this video itself, man. But it's a spirit they, just going into it because this is the times we're coming into, and that's going to escalate here in America, man. Okay, rather it be something as, the lights go out or however this devil Esau, man, play, his cards, man. At the end of the day, we know that prophecy is going to take place, and Jacob's trouble is going to be a thing of prophecy that has to be fulfilled, man. Okay, and we are already in times of that right now. Okay, and it's just going to only escalate to a very more intense situation here in America.
That's right.
So yeah, that's the point. You got anything else up?
That was me, King.
God, so Edifying to Hakim Afwa, the seeking Lord and truth sincerity in these times. You know, we're gonna close it out by giving all glory and praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawadah, BAHASHAM, Okay, once again, you know, that was an apostle millstone. We'll teach you well. Till next time we say, Shalom.